Surf the future of data.
Think about your favorite app for a moment. Every time you post a photo, update your profile, or delete a message, something is happening quietly in the background, right? Data is being added, or data is being changed, or data is being removed. And all of that happens using SQL. Welcome back to DataSurface. In today's session, we are diving into DML, data manipulation language. If DDL was about building the house, then DML is about living inside it. So this is where we stop creating empty structures and start managing the real information that makes applications actually work. Let me quickly walk you through today's agenda. We'll start by understanding what DML really is. Then we'll master the big three: insert, update, and delete commands. After that, I'll introduce you to some professional real-world tools like a merge and INSERTALL commands. And finally, we'll talk about the golden safety rules that every engineer must follow to avoid losing data by mistake. Simple, practical, and real world, right? If you watched our previous video on DDL, you already know this idea. DDL builds the house, but a house with no furniture is useless, right? DML is the furniture here. So it's the data inside the rooms, the rows and columns we work with every single day. DDL defines the structure, DML brings the database to life. Now, here is the best part about DML. It has an undo button. Unlike DDL, DML works with transactions. That means your changes don't immediately become permanent. They wait. If you realize something went wrong, you can use rollback and undo everything as if it never happened. For engineers, this is your safety net. And trust me, you are rely on it a lot on real projects. Let's start with the most basic command, insert. So this is how we add new records to the table, right? You tell the database which table you are using, which column you are filling, and what values should go into them, right? One professional habit I want you to build early is always mention column names explicitly, never depend on column order. It makes your code safer, clear, and feature proof, right? So, you are blindly following the table columns order, you might not able to insert the data always as expected. So, the best practice is always mention the columns, even though you are changing the column orders, since you are mentioning the columns, so the same order you can insert the values. You don't need to bother about the what is the exact column orders in the table, right? So now let's see in a simple syntax and example for the insert, like insert into table name. Then you can give the list of columns and then you can provide the corresponding values, right? In the left side checkbox, you can see the syntax, and right side you can see the practical example. Insert into employees and columns ID, names, salary, values you are inserting for that corresponding columns, right? Let's move on to the update. So the real data changes all the time. People get promotions, phone numbers change, address got updated. So update lets you modify existing records. But pay close attention here. The where class is everything. Without it, you are not updating one person data or one particular record. You are going to update the whole table data, right? So I have seen real systems break because of someone forgot where class. So always pause, always double check once before updating something. So if you see the left side text box, sample syntax for the update command, update table name, and we'll use a set keyword, and which column you want to update, give that column and value. Like if you want to update multiple columns also, we can provide the column names and the corresponding values, and we will give the where condition. So it's an important one. Right side you can see the practical example, update employee, set salary, where department ID code 10, right? So it will update only the 10th department related records. Let's move on to the Next important command is delete. So when the data is no longer needed, we use delete. Delete is precise. It works row by row. Unlike truncate, which wipes everything, delete allows control. So what it means, for example, you can remove last year logs data while keeping current records untouched. Think of a delete as a surgical tool, not a bulldozer, right? So to see simple example, the syntax is delete from the table name, from which table you are going to delete, and where class. Whereas you can see the right side, practical example, delete from logs where log date less than 1st Jan 2024, right? Which means it will delete all the logs from the logs table before 1st Jan, right? So as I mentioned, update deletes always is a cautious with the where class. You need to be careful. Let's quickly take a look the key differences between delete and truncate, right? So the delete is a DML command and truncate is a DDL command, and delete is a basically kind of a selective tool, whereas a truncate is a structural reset tool, right? So now if you see, the delete will support where class to remove the specific rows, but whereas truncate, it won't support the where class. You need to remove all the rows in a single go. So basically, you can use delete to delete the specific records, but whereas in truncate, it's not possible. And you can roll back before commit if you delete any records. Like by mistakenly, if you delete something, you can revert it. Whereas truncate is a auto commit. Since it is a DDL, you cannot revert it. And performance wise, delete is slow, whereas truncate is fast. Because when you are deleting the records, so it will go record by record and it will log the entries behind the scenes in database. But whereas a truncate, it will remove directly. So it is related to the space specific, right? Whereas in delete, the storage space is not reclaimed immediately, which means it will not reset the high watermark. Whereas in truncate, it will reclaim the space and reset the high watermark. So what is mean by high watermark? If you are not sure, we have already discussed in the previous video. Please have a look at it. Now, let's step into the professional territory, the merge. So in real world systems, you often don't know whether a record already exists. Should you insert or update? So the merge answers both questions at once, right? So if the match is found in the target table, you can update, or if you want, you can delete the record. If the no match is found, you can insert the record into that particular target table. So that flexibility comes with the merge statement. Basically, it is a kind of a insert plus update. So we call as a upset. Based on the condition, either you can insert a new record or you can update the existing record from the table, even though you are not sure about the record presence in the target table, right? So if you see the syntax, merge into the target table, and you will give the alias name using the source table, and you will give the on clause, which is a very important here. And based on this particular condition, if when match, then update. If it's not matched, then we will insert. In right side, you can see the simple example. Merge into employees using employee updates and join condition. We are applying the join based on the ID column. When is matched, then update their salary. If it is not matched, then we are inserting those values into the target, right? So the important notes are key points keep in mind while working with the merge statement. So it is basically combined of insert update into one statement based on match. The on clause is the engine. It defines the specific match case, right? So update match rows or insert new unmatched data. So sometimes, like if you want, you can delete the match records also. That is also is possible. So we can see the detail in hands-on lab about this particular functionalities. Okay. So now coming to the performance wise, performs a single scan of the target table. So it fails if the source table is having a duplicate records. If in case that source table having a duplicate entries, you cannot perform the merge statement on that. It will fail. Let's move on to the final command, insert all. Also we call as a multi-insert, right? So we have a big data set, but you want to split it into multiple tables. That's where INSERTALL comes in. Instead of running multiple insert statements, you can route data to different tables in a single pass. It's a fast, it's clean, and it's very common in data warehousing. Before we close, let's log the DML safety rules. Commit makes your changes permanent. Rollback undoes your work. And here is the most important habit for all. Before running update or delete, always run a select using the same where class. If the select looks right, then only you can proceed and make the change. This is a best practice in real world projects people will follow. You just learned how real world data is handled in production systems. This is how senior developers think. In the next video, we'll go deeper into TCL, transactional control language, and master commits and rollback as much deep level. If this session helps you, subscribe to DataSurface and grow with us. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.